glitter and all the glitz is gone, you are going to see one heck of a consummate professional Tommy Dreamer. I look for big things from this guy coming up soon.
Well, for sure, but again, he's got to get past this man that he really has no use for in big, maniacal Jimmy Dio.
All right, Tommy Dreamer telling everybody at home that he is ready. And he gets the crowd going a little bit here. It's International World Class Championship Wrestling, and it is action at its best. Brian Webster alongside with Bob Smith. It's a pleasure to have your company with us here this week as we bring you all the top stars here in the IWCCW. And Tommy Dreamer moves quickly into a side headlock. Dio counters by whipping his man into the far side, and look out. Dio almost went down on that one. Tommy Dreamer is a big 265-pound rock.
You know, I talked to Tommy before this match, and this is the calm before the storm. Most of what Tommy told me he wanted to do Jimmy Dio, I could not repeat to you here because he is livid at this guy.
I can imagine. So much tomfoolery has gone on between these two.
I mean, blatant outside interference.
Oh, everything you can think of has been hurled at Tommy Dreamer, and he's looking for some revenge here.
And you know what? I hope he gets it. He's been wronged one time too many.
And he's asking the fans, and they respond with a positive, yes, please, drop down on his arm. And that's indeed what they do. Tommy now asking them one more time, should I do it? And he answers in kind.
He could have come down with a foot, but he used all of his 247 pounds to drop across that arm, and boy, does that hurt. And Jimmy Dio, look at that face. Nothing but a massive pain right now.
Look at that arm twist. He's going to take a little trophy home with him here this week. Rolls him over into a side headlock and really cinches it in.
I'll tell you what, you think rolling over 301 pounds like that is easy?
I wouldn't try it, that's for sure. That's why I sit behind the microphone.
That's why I sit at a desk writing stories and editing all day, I'll tell you that.
Look at Tommy Dreamer. He's moving too fast for the big man out of Blandon, Pennsylvania. Rolls him over into a pinning combination, and Dio very wisely grabs onto the ropes. He knows exactly where he is at all times inside that squared circle, but now he's outside, and he wants to think about it for a little bit.
I don't like what I'm seeing here. Dio looks flustered, but you know that computerized brain of his is whirring around his head. You know he's got some kind of a scheme going on. Now he's going to bait the referee into the corner saying that he pulled the hair, but he never pulled his hair. Luckily, Joe Curley is not falling for it.
And
look at that.
There's a nice arm drag by the man out of Dreamland, USA, and a hip toss as Dio comes off the other side. And once again, he ends up on the floor this time. And again, that is very, very thin padding out there.
Watch out behind you, Jimmy. Boom.
Oh, there's a double axe handle right into the side of the face of the Maniac, Jimmy Dio.
It's a mash for the Maniac outside that ring.
Dio now whipped into the ropes, and Tommy comes off with a big clothesline. Off the ropes and drops the elbow on Jimmy Dio. Goes for a cover, fails to hook the leg, and Dio's going to very easily kick out of that.
Well, that's a little bit too much too soon. I think he needs to wear down the Maniac a little bit before he tries a pinning combination. I think he's going to try to do that right now. He's got that front headlock down.
And there's a nice hip roll, and we can have him now. He's got that shoulder cinched in.
That was kind of unique. It was like a combination DDT onto the pinning combination there.
I'm consistently surprised that Tommy Dreamer is always coming up with some new maneuvers. You know, Tommy will always tell you, you know, my learning days are far from over. He says the day you stop learning is the day you might as well hang up the tights.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jimmy Dio's learning the meaning of pain right now. He just took a big shoulder block.
Oh, Tommy Dreamer asking the fans if he should put the big man to sleep. First, no, neck breaker. A neck breaker. Dio is down on the canvas once again here this week.
Dio laying there, his carcass, his pockets are hanging out. I don't know what happened.
He's a mess. I hope he's got bus fare in those pockets because he's going to want to go home when this one is over. Dio's whipped.
There it is.
There's the sleeper hold. It's the Dreamland USA. Jimmy Dio taking a ride on the Dreamland Express, courtesy of Tommy Dreamer. But very wisely, Dio makes his way over into the ropes, and you can see the look of frustration on Tommy Dreamer's face.
Yeah, he thought he had him put away. Actually, he does have him put away.
Look,
Because
Dio, he's just like
Dio's
you say, he's
on
a
Clear
carcass.
Street, yeah.
He's a carcass in there. He's just a big, massive defeat.
That's a polite way to put it, yeah.
I'm being very careful with my words. This is a family program. There's a big elbow by Tommy Dreamer.
You know, I'm a little worried about Tommy right now. He's taking a little bit too much relish in punishing Jimmy. I think he ought to go for the pin, get the big victory, propel himself up the ratings.
Because after all, I know that he and Dio have had their runarounds before as he drives Dio's face right into the canvas. They've had their runarounds before, but, you know, victory is what it's all about. You know, who's going to go home with the short end of the stick? Who's going to go home with the biggest purse money? And if Dreamer wants to get a victory, I suggest that he take over and make the pin. But as I'm telling you this, the Maniac Jimmy Dio has staged a little bit of a comeback here with his roughhousing tactics. He's got a couple of eye rakes in on Tommy Dreamer. Now he's whipped to the ropes.
Uh-oh.
And Dio grabbed the leg of Tommy Dreamer, but he came back with a kick to the back of the head.
Look at this now. Tommy is signaling for a body slam.
Tommy Dreamer has really been ready for this contest for quite some time. Now he's out of the ring apron.
Excuse me, he's going to try to splash him. That's right. Here he
Tommy
comes.
Dreamer coming down with a big splash. There's a cover, two.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
Mondo
wait a minute.
Clean.
Holy cow.
That's Mondo Clean.
Mondo Clean has just come in out of nowhere. Mondo Clean is cleaning up Tommy Dreamer.
This is a
Look
very
at that.
dangerous
He's standing
situation.
over him. Now he's stomping away again.
2-on-1. That's 600
Dio
pounds of
drops the
manhood.
elbow.
600 pounds against Tommy Dreamer. How can
Tommy
he stand
Dreamer
this?
didn't stand a chance. Hold on a second. The crowd is up in arms. Dreamer's whipped to the ropes. There's a double
The Bushwhacker.
What's going on here? Here they come.
Right in the nick of time,
The
man.
Bushwhackers have come in.
Right in the nick of time. Tommy Dreamer was in serious, serious trouble there.
The Bushwhackers have come in to save Tommy Dreamer. There was no way that the Dreamer was going to be able to sustain such an onslaught from both of these two big behemoths in there.
You know what?
Again, Dio has pulled a trick out of his bag.
You know what? I think we're seeing the birth of a feud right here.
Well,
the
you know what?
Bushwhackers against Dio and Mondo Clean.
Came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, Tommy Dreamer found himself in a 2-on-1 situation. Thank goodness the Bushwhackers were in the arena, because who knows what would have happened to Tommy Dreamer had the Bushwhackers not come to help him. Holy mackerel, wrestling fans. We have seen tremendous action right here in this one. Tommy Dreamer is up and he's okay, and he's with the Bushwhackers. What we're going to do right now is we're going to try to take you to George Napolitano from Ringside Wrestling. George is going to talk to one of these teams here.
Well, rightfully so. He's
We're
staying
trying to
away
get
from
some
the
reaction.
action. Yeah.
I mean, this has been such mass confusion.
Hey,